Guys, in this video we're taking a electric four-wheeler that we purchased off of Facebook Marketplace, chopping it up and combining it with an Amazon powerwheels Jeep to make something that's pretty lame and turning it into something that's super rad. It's gone through some revisions, but it went from this to what you see here, and in this video I'm going to show you how we did it. So sit back and enjoy it. With the help of my sons, Johnny and Joey, we cut up a bunch of different components and make this a usable toy that will bring them lots of joy and all sorts of cool memories. So this is going to be the first of many build videos that we do. So I hope you guys enjoy the content that we are starting to create with this new Professional Nothings video page on YouTube. So you'll have to excuse my voice. I'm just getting over being sick, but yeah, really looking forward to producing a lot more of this kind of stuff for you guys to show your kids and hopefully inspire you to get out and build some really cool stuff with your family members as well. Yeah, it is.
I just did this.
Try that out. You're pushing it up. Pull it. Back up. You're pushing it onto yourself. Okay. Get the other wheel off.
It made lots of sounds.
Okay. Other wheel. Break time or what? Break time? All I see is a massive mess. What's the plan? So you're going to try to body swap this?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Did you take some measurements already? It says it's going to fit? You don't know? You're just spending my money willingly just to experiment or what? Okay. This looks like a mess. I trust you. So as you can see here, we're just kind of pulling stuff apart, getting stuff figured out, stripping the chassis. The boys are kind of playing around, but ultimately we're just trying to start to figure out how we're going to put the body on. So we start chopping, making space for your feet, kind of clearing some areas for the steering geometry, the steering linkages, etc. Boys are kind of helping figure and plan for that kind of stuff. We just use the Sawzall to cut the body out for that. Get it sitting on there and kind of positioned. It's a lot of trial and error, fitting stuff, taking it off, fitting it, taking it back off. And as you can see here, we got Joey in the Jeep. Body is on, and we do have steering linkage hooked up. So that took a couple different heim joints to some linkage to get the steering over to the left-hand side of the chassis, because the four-wheeler steering with the handlebars is normally going out the middle. So a couple bearings, a couple of arms, linkages hooked up. We actually used the old rear axle as the steering column, as you can see here, and then I welded a crazy cart steering wheel to that steering column, which was the axle, to give him a real steering wheel to hang on to. So at this point it's just kind of bolted on. It's not working yet, but the steering is working. You can see just how narrow the axles and arms are at this point and how tippy this thing would be. So you'll find out why we decided to modify that later on here as the video continues, but just kind of showing you the overall look of what we're doing. All right, so at this point now we got the electronics hooked up, forward, reverse, high and low. We just merged that Amazon Jeep harness with the four-wheeler harness, but at this point we don't have any tie down on the batteries, which are also from a crazy cart, along with that gas pedal. So we're just kind of testing the functionality of the throttle, making sure it all works. again, we don't have any brakes yet, so I relayed to Joey that it's time for us to get some safety gear on, and maybe test this thing out a little bit further. But he was having fun, kind of figuring things out. But we got a helmet on, and he found out the hard way that this is quite a bit narrower than he would like. So after this little wipeout here, the batteries fell out, landed on him. The Jeep did as well, but he was okay. He had a little owie on his finger, but tough kid, no big deal. But at this point, I figured out that we're gonna definitely have to widen the A-arms on this thing in the rear axle, which was the plan all along. Just one step at a time. This thing is just getting together on the weekends after work, things like that. So next step was to get her widened up, but before we could make that happen, he did this again. At this point, though, we did have a tie down built for the battery. We do have brakes, so he was able to stop, but that didn't help him from tipping over. So we've kind of gone over a couple things about that now, but he's figuring it out, and we have hard lessons around our household here, but it's what makes smart kids. So live and learn on this one.
Okay.
Okay? Lucky you didn't die. Here, hold the camera. Don't cover up the lens. Yeah, dude. Okay. Joey, you gotta be careful. If you're gonna go down something, you need to come down straight. You don't come at an angle. Okay? You'll tip right over. Jeez.
All right, so now it was time to widen up the front A-arms. Well, we did that by just welding on an 1.5-inch extension on both tube sections of the lower front arms and extending the tie rod length. Problem with this steering suspension setup is it's only a single arm setup, so there's a ton of bump steer and camber gain with the travel. And as you can see here, that affects how this thing jumps through the air and lands, stuff like that. Joey's feeling a lot more comfortable here, but almost rolls it again. Thankfully, though, the front end is wider, but it was time to start working on the rear. So at this point, made an order for some material, got some DOM coming from the internet, and just measured the OD of the axle and got the proper ID of tubing, and just essentially just cut off the hubs and extended it. I don't know if it was like 5 inches per side or something like that. The boys and I then just TIG welded those extensions on and allowed the hubs to bolt back into place, and then ended up shooting it with a little bit of paint just so it kind of blended with everything else with the front. And that was kind of how that went. So this next section of video just kind of shows a little bit of the breakdown of what we actually did here. So you get to kind of see how I cut the seat section out from the Amazon quad, but then built the mount for the body. This had some simpler tabs on it that Joey broke before, just because the suspension on this thing is so stiff. We later upgrade those to air shocks later on in the video. I think I have some content about that I can show you guys as well, but at least now you can see that the front end and the rear end has been extended. It's got a pretty good looking stance to it now. The wheels are actually poking outside of the body lines of the Jeep. We got an updated pedal for the throttle on there, as well as the brake. You can see how that was done there now, and how that kind of works. So I just welded a tube onto the chassis here, have the brake lever flipped up through the plastic, and then I welded a pad of some diamond plate aluminum to that so you can press it. Underneath the hood here, you'll be able to see the tie down that we fabricated, real easily. Again, Crazy Cart batteries, 36 volts. is what this thing runs on. And at this point, yeah, there's still not a whole lot of travel. We ordered some different springs to kind of soften it up as best we could. The rear is pretty good. The front was still so stiff, but again, with that weird suspension setup, if it's too soft, there's just so much camber gain, so much bump steer. It's a little ridiculous, but yeah, and I think we got the headlights integrated in now too, so those are wired in with a switch. So Joey's got some lights to be able to drive this thing around at night, and that's a whole nother adventure in of it itself. Love driving this thing in the dark. Later on in the video, we put some underglow on it and show how we do that as well. But yeah, here's Joey getting ready to pull this thing out for the evening.
Where's your helmet?
It's in the house. I ain't gonna get it.
Okay.
Hey, Johnny. Look. When I get my house inside, and it's somewhere. Dad? When I get my house inside, can you wait?
Yeah. Turn on your lights, Joey. Yeah, so at this point now we're just kind of playing with suspension settings and just kind of dialing this thing in. Joey's playing with it quite a bit, getting super comfortable with it. We welded a trailer hitch on it so he can pull stuff around the yard as well. And yeah, just having tons of fun with it. So much that we actually took it on a family trip up into the mountains and did some wheeling. At this point, we actually built one for Johnny as well, and I'll show that later in another video. That's a whole video in of itself. But this was our first experience taking the boys up into the mountains with some toys and doing some rock crawling with our we have a Suzuki Carry K truck, and we hauled that up into the mountains along with a bunch of other stuff and played around with all sorts of things. But the two boys got a chance to do some wheeling with their Jeeps. But again, I'll show Johnny's later because that's the the next iteration of what we built here. But again, just showing how capable this little thing really is and how much fun that this little 4-year-old has on it. It's just been such an awesome part of his 4th year of life here around the house. He just really enjoys driving this thing around. He hops on it as soon as he gets home from school, pulls it out of the garage, goes on little adventures, and we want to just kind of keep fostering that ability to go explore. But yeah, so this was just our trip up into the hills, a little Airbnb trip that we took, and Joey's just kind of cruising around. Such a beautiful spot up there, and yeah, he just loves it. He's just going for a drive, enjoying life. So at this point here, we were ready to do our next modification to Joey's Jeep, and that was underglow. So ordered some Amazon LED strips, just some 12-volt units, threw in a little toggle switch, and with this battery setup at the time, we were able to just scab off of one single battery. We also made a change to the shocks up front. As you can see there, we got some air shocks
for a mountain bike. Those are some more Amazon units for that as well. Still haven't changed the rear at this point. It's still a coil spring, but yeah, it worked out pretty good. Just showing off the headlights too. Those headlights actually were from the four-wheeler that we started the whole project from. They happen to be around. They just work out perfectly to hole saw those out and put those in. So he's got some bright headlights. Maiden voyage here, taking them out, going for a cruise. That's Johnny in the background with his Jeep that we're going to do a video on later. But just taking them out through the neighborhood. Boys wanted to show off their cool underglow. So I'm on the one wheel, just getting some footage. We're going for a little drive. Joey's just really digging the lights and the setup. So adds a whole nother element of adventure that we can do with these things to go play in the evenings. In this next clip that I got queued up, Joey's taking his Jeep out for a solid rip, timed little run that we do. At this point, he's been ripping this thing quite a bit, so sit back and look how fast he's going here.
That thing is ripping. Jeez. That was a fast lap.